What's up? A bit backstory about this video because, okay, I'll make it quick because you probably don't really care that much. Basically, I had a whole script for this video where I was going to review like every season of The Boys, starting from season 1 all the way to season 3. And honestly, the script was trash. Like it was terrible. I don't really like writing scripts. I prefer just to speak my mind because it flows better that way. Like having to read off a script kind of just takes out the fun of it for me because I just get to speak my mind. Instead of doing that, where I'm going to review The Boys by each season, we're just going to be reviewing season 3, my thoughts on it. So let's get to it. Alright, so The Boys season 3 is probably my favorite season out of the 3 seasons that have been released. Like every season it's just gotten better and better, apart from season 2 where I feel like the start was a bit lackluster compared to season 1, but season 3 was just great. The only part of season 3 that I did not enjoy that much was the finale, which I will get to later. So let's start off with the good things because I want to praise this show because it is really great. Like the action sequences in this show are just amazing. Like the pure shock factor moments are great. Homelander, it just continues to be the greatest character in this show apart from Butcher, which Butcher got a lot of focus and development this season, comparatively unlike the rest of the season where he was just kind of like a force of nature that just got things done when the plot required him to be there. Now a lot of characters had developments this season that I somewhat do not and do agree with. Now before anybody starts commenting like, you don't understand the subtle differences inside The Boys show, you know, the subtleties of the show are beyond your intellect because you're too stupid. I really enjoyed the stuff that they did with Butcher, with his whole backstory with Lenny and the monster that he had become. That was great. I also really enjoyed the thing they did with the Temp V, with Huey and Butcher and the side effects of it, and Huey, how his insecurities when it comes to Starlight and his relationship and the strain that his insecurities put on the relationship. I really enjoy that. It was just cool to see Butcher mow down a bunch of people with laser vision and Huey get naked when he I don't know why they didn't have to make him. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this season was Soldier Boy. It was the inclusion of Soldier Boy. I really loved Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy. Now I'm a person that I don't really know Jensen Ackles that well. I do know that he was in Supernatural, which is another show that Eric Kripke wrote for, but I wasn't really into it. It's 15 seasons long. I'm not gonna watch that. But he was great. Like he was perfect as Soldier Boy. He was just so good, man. I loved Jensen Ackles as a Soldier Boy. I really loved the development that they had for Soldier Boy, where he wasn't a terrible person per se. Like, I mean, the moral standard in this world is below hell, okay? So all you have to do is be sorry for the actions you commit, and then you're probably like a better person than half of the people in this show. But I'm really glad they didn't go the route of just making him like a super duper butthole. Glad they actually gave him a lot of character, and I actually really sympathized with him a lot. I feel like the main theme of this season was daddy issues because everybody has them, including him. Homelander has them, Ryan has them, Soldier Boy has them. Like just a lot of men with daddy issues. And going off the daddy issues things, I really loved Eminem. I really loved Emmem's story with his daughter and dealing with his father's death and coming to terms with what happened that night and exposing his daughter to the truth, eventually opening up to her. I really enjoyed As the seasons progress, becomes one of my favorite characters in the entire show. Like I just really love his character. He's just nothing I really hate about him at all. Except for Todd. I hate Todd. Screw Todd, man. Look at his stupid face with his glasses. No offense to the actor. Just stupid face, man. I hate Todd. Eminem should have just killed him when he had the chance to punch him in the face. Now another two couples that I really enjoyed their development was Kimiko and Frenchie. I really enjoyed the development they had for Kimiko, especially with her rejecting the powers originally and then eventually coming to want the powers back. But this time it's not because she was forced upon them, but she wanted to protect Frenchie. And I'm not sure if Frenchie was like family zoned during this portion of the season. Like is she implying that she only views him like blood relation family? Because like is it weird that they kissed, or like are they still a thing? I don't really know. I kind of like them together. I thought they were a cute couple, but I guess not if she thinks he's a family guy now. Family guy? Hey, love. I really enjoyed Kimiko's development through the entire series. Frenchie didn't have much development. They tried to give him some development, like with the whole independent thing. It's still enjoyable to see him stand up to Butcher. Like Butcher treats all of them terribly, so I'm really glad that Frenchie got his independence back. And as for dental care of all things, I mean, the things you do for Butcher, you think you deserve more than dental care. I would have him pay for my insurance. And there was a thing at the end of the final episode with him having a drug addiction, but that didn't really go anywhere. It wasn't really that plotted out in my opinion. The Deep, as always, is a big joke and I just love him for it. Like there's like a interconnectivity between like every single character that even if they aren't connected by like plot points, they're connected by themes. Like A-Train has this whole thing with his brother and that connects to the whole family theme that it was going for the season. But the deep is just way far off. Like his plot points don't even coincide with the themes of the rest of the characters. It's so great. Like everybody else gets this like introspective look into themselves, their families, and what it means to be a family, generational trauma and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the Deep gets octopus. I love it though, I love him. I really do hope that in the later seasons he becomes like one of the most important characters ever and like leads to the fall of Vought or like Homelander or something. I really do. I really hope he joins the boys. And a character that I thought had a lot of character development and focus this season that I didn't really expect was Black Noir. However, I felt like it was kind of a waste. They had this whole thing with the animated section with these cartoon characters, and that was like animating the parts for like backstory, which I really enjoyed because it for some reason having this like super dark backstory portrayed in cartoon form makes it much more darker than it is. Like just seeing like this eagle beat the ever-living crap out of this black sheep and then just like brains come out of the black sheep. It's just, they gave him a lot of character development and focus, but he dies. Homelander just kills Black Noir, which I didn't really get because it's kind of like, why you gave him all this character development for him to die in this season? You know, like the exact season he gets the character development, he dies. I didn't really understand what the purpose was because it didn't make his death much more impactful, really. Like I cared for Black Noir just before the backstory, so him dying now just, it kind of felt off. I kind of felt weird about it. I don't think it was really necessary for him to die. If they wanted to kill off a character, which brings me to my next point, which they should have killed off, was Queen Maeve. Now I enjoyed the entire season as a whole because it gave a lot of characters development, like I said, and the action pieces, and certain episodes were just amazing, like episode 6, the Deep gets his flounder sucked by an octopus, but I didn't like the finale that much comparatively to everything else. There was no real stakes, in my opinion, for the finale, apart from Butcher because he kept taking temp lead, but the rest of the characters, it was obvious that they weren't gonna die. Like Homelander, there's no way they're gonna kill Homelander now because he's the main villain, right? If they killed him, you know, that'd be the end of the show. Soldier Boy was never gonna die because of his powers. He's basically just Homelander but without the flight, so there was nobody that could kill him apart from Homelander. In my opinion, the finale was kind of lackluster because they had this whole like big showdown and Annie went like Super Saiyan for some reason, but then she just ends up like just pushing Soldier Boy to the ground. Frenchie could have done that. He could have just like tackled Soldier Boy. Huey could have just tackled Soldier Boy. It would have been the same effect. It was kind of disappointing because she just pushed him down, right? But then after that, Maeve just like sacrifices herself at the end, but then she's alive apparently and she doesn't have powers, and now she's just living on a farm with her girlfriend. I mean, it's nice, right, to see that. It kind of felt cheap to me. Like I really felt, because she had this whole thing a couple of minutes before this scene happened, was she said there's no such thing as heroes, they don't exist, and she's saying that to Starlight, and then it would have been really powerful for her to make this heroic act as her last thing that she does for Starlight, proving that despite her words, she really was a hero in the end, you know. So having her come back to life suddenly without her powers and just go live on a farm with her girlfriend kind of felt cheap to me and kind of ruined the moment, in my opinion. But overall, the entire season was great, and I really enjoyed all the character developments they had for each character, especially Ryan. I really am wondering how they're going to take the character of Ryan forward from here, seeing how the season ended. So yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions on The Boys Season 3. I don't know if I'll ever do a scripted video ever because all my videos are unscripted. I don't know. I just don't like scripted videos, okay? It's boring, in my opinion. I hate reading. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Later.